All right, guys, welcome to. I believe we're calling this segment "UnFun Decks," where we're going to
Unfun
be
decks.
reviewing Patreon decks that were submitted to, or decks lists that were submitted to us via Patreon. So if you want to join in on the fun next time, we highly encourage it. It'll be at our $5 tier on Patreon. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're hoping to spend at least a little while on the decks, and because we are a little lighter on patrons this month, we also submitted decks ourselves. Yeah. So I guess we're ready to get this rolling. Who do you want to start with, man?
Let's start with that Sophitia.
So we're gonna start with. I don't know who this person actually is. Their Discord is Illison.
He says his name is Aaron.
Illison?
This is
Aaron. We're starting with Aaron. Aaron Sophitia deck. So obviously, first things first, Sophitia, very good character. Not played as much as Cassandra, but very good character.
Yeah, she's got like. I remember when she first came out, and a little while after, Shane Duckworth was talking about how nuts she was. Like he felt like it was Grey Wars all over again because he couldn't kill her, and she just committed your entire board.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that she's a hidden gem for sure. You know, like she's a character that lots of people should have looked at. It's just she's a little boring. You know, like she's very straightforward in what she does. You know exactly how each game is gonna go. If you're trying to play Sophitia, right? Like you kind of have an idea of what you want to do.
I kind of love her as like the secret character that I always expect to kind of show up and do some kind of cool things. Just because like I think she's nuts, just committing your opponent's whole board.
Right.
And I'm not even gonna lie. When I was like when I pulled up the link, I was like, oh, Sophitia. That's it's so weird that he's playing this off of this symbol. And then I was like, oh wait, that's not Cassandra. Just kidding. Just kidding. That's a completely different.
Right, Cassandra doesn't
character.
have the order.
Yeah, I was like, how is he doing these things? I've never seen that before.
Right.
But no, I guess first up, like the attack lineup looks pretty solid to me. I mean, it looks pretty cut and dry, like pretty cookie cutter, like good cards to me, right? Like,
Right.
Raptor Rush is super value in this deck. You get more committal with Stakeout, Nouveau Soleil, and then like just banging it out with Meteors, Moonsets. I don't know what Lightning Fang is. I have honestly no idea. But the rest of those are pretty sick. What is Lightning Fang, by the way?
Lightning Fang is, I think that's stun 1 attack. Let me bring up my so we can look at it. It's a stun 1, and if it's not completely blocked, you get to freeze one of your opponent's committed foundations. So it's like you have a low block, you stun 1 during it. If they partially block it, you commit another one. And then if they don't, then it's just one more. I think the bigger thing here is that it's like deadlock, kill your opponent, right?
Okay, yeah. I mean, that is certainly, we love deadlock kill your opponent, especially when one of the probably best ways to deal with a deck where they're going to commit all your stuff is to play more stuff.
Build 100 cards, right?
Especially deadlock deal with 100 cards is pretty good, because like, yeah, Sophitia is one of those characters where you don't really, it's not like you need speed, right? So like being able to put some like damage on stuff is better most of the time, because she's giving free speed. Like you're not ever going to be like, oh man, wow, I wish my attacks were faster, because they just are.
Mm-hmm.
She has that going for her.
Yeah, this reversal game plan is pretty neat, I think, between the Nouveaux and the Raptor Rushes. Let me bring up the Raptor Rush. Boom! We got the Raptor Rush and the Nouveau. These two are both 4-ofs, and like they're both brutal on reversal. Especially like Nouveau's 5/5/5, re-readies 2 things. And then Raptor Rush is like a 6/6 that if
6/6.
Their next one gets 0 speeded, so you're like never blocking any of it.
And if they do block it, you're committing another one of their cards. Like you're committing on blocking their card.
Right.
Then you're committing on its effect. Then you're committing again.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. It's nasty. I've seen Life Sophitias this is life. No, it's order. I've
No,
seen life
it's an order
Sophitas
deck.
that were running like friends and rivals on using the same.
Oh Jesus!
Attack
Just
package.
extra.
Because with Nuvo, it's like you commit to friends and rivals and then you ready them afterwards on the reversal.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
It does share 2 symbols with it, and I think Raptor Rush, if I'm not mistaken, let me go find it again.
It shares 2.
Yeah, it's got the same 2 symbols, order and life.
Yeah, it's got 2.
So that's the thing that maybe we should look at. I know you don't get Meteor, right? And Meteor with 2 speed is pretty nuts. Like, there's lots of reasons to run order for here, but there's a lot of stuff that are.
There's a lot of layover between the two. Yeah. I guess it's more of like, what don't you get? You know?
Yeah. Like, he has a 1-up Owl Shield because it shares in the symbols that you can probably get it out there. I like that little off symbol thing. But like, I think the one thing you
plus you got Meteor.
Yeah, Meteor also brings it in. But I think the only things that I'm seeing that are only order are like Voice of Reason, which I never want to touch, and the Sophitia stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. I mean, you're missing out on. It feels like a few cards that you would just trade around realistically, right? Like,
yeah, it's just you.
I guess I'm not sure what you're getting. I guess you're getting, like you said, Friends and Rivals, super good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what you do get, which is huge, is Marrying Age.
Marrying Age is great.
Yeah,
Marrying Age is great in this deck.
Yeah,
especially if you run into like the problem of like the obvious problem of your opponent gets down too many sense of morals that you can't actually deal with your Forbidden Moon sets.
Right. If you
That's
really
big
that,
one.
You could probably sideboard in that Suzaku card that flips cards when they ready them.
Yeah. Or you could, if you're playing off of life, I guess you could play Rose Mystique. I don't know.
Yeah,
is that a life card?
As little doll.
I don't know.
Seals something. Oh no, not that one. There is one that seals something. But you need 2 characters to do that. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess Azwell's little doll just recommits it. That's pretty fun. Yeah, we like that.
No, it doesn't recommit.
We like that.
That's after they add it, so it's not.
Oh, it's after they add. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's like the shitty Azwell card we're thinking of, right? Or not Azwell, it's shitty Suzaku cards. Like, it's 3/5.
So my biggest thing here is that you're running like the Saved by a Child and Feifei, and you have Face Enhance, and you've got Nightmare Tears, and this and this and this off order. My recommendation is to just run like a 1 or 2 of the Nightmare Tears and a 1 or 2 of Cool Unfocused, and run Resurrected Revenant for the oh shit bar, right? Like, sometimes something's so fast that your -2 speed is just not enough to handle it, right? And that's what like Feifei and Saved by a Child are there for. But what Resurrected Revenant does for you is it lets you just pick up that block zone that you need, right? And between Marrying Age, Nightmare Tears, and Cool Focus, you've covered every zone with a incredibly decent block. And with Nightmare Tears and Cool Focus, you literally make it so that even if they have a 20 speed, like something, you still get to block it. But that's a 1-of, right? A 1x Resurrected Revenant, I think it would bring this together, and you could get rid of some of these other things. Like, I don't think we're running Saved by a Child for the block. Oh, maybe it is. There are not enough lows. There's 11 lows in this list.
11 only.
Yeah.
All right.
I think 13 with Stakeout. So maybe Saved by a Child is in there just because it is a 2-low block.
But there's also stuff you could throw in there to kind of help that out that I wouldn't mind seeing. Like, I love Servitude for Survival. I think being able to, if you're changing the zone of your opponent's attacks while also making them super slow, that's like obviously ideal.
Yeah.
You're playing enough assets that Never a Day Without Training is pretty good. Like, that's a low block. It takes up a different spam slot because like you are kind of overkill on the speed hate, and we're not playing Daughter of a Bladed Rod in like the slowest deck possible. Right?
True.
Like,
yeah.
I should definitely have Daughters so you could deal with them in deadlock. You could just straight up shit on your opponent. Like,
yeah. Daughter is kind of like Face of Monster, where your opponent really has to think about whether or not they're gonna be able to deal with this card in deadlock.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I didn't agree with that initially, but I've changed my assessment. That card is
it's good.
A little
it's
nutty.
Good. It's good. It's worth at least a 1x in most of those symbols.
Yeah, I would agree with that entirely.
Good symbol doesn't usually need it just because there's so many other things, but
Oh, wait.
I love it.
It just doesn't have Ageless and Wise either, right?
Yeah, this is a pretty tight deck. It's got 64 cards, I think. I think you could just pump 2 more Passing the Torch, because Passing the Torch just helps solve a lot of your issues with building after poking, and then also trying to draw a string. Like, sometimes you draw a Moonset and another Moonset or something, and you're like, but I need one more attack to really seal the deal, and Passing the Torch can let you dig for that. And you're a blocking deck. Sometimes you run out of cards. Passing the Torch just, like, gets you more blocks. So I think that you should definitely pump that up to 4. Never Day Without Training is also another great low block that you can add in if you're trying to get more of those in there. But yeah, I think that this is surprisingly refined for a list just thrown at us, and also for the amount of 4 ofs, right? Like, there's no 3Xs that I can see except for the Elk Shield, but everything is like either 2s, 4s, and a couple 1s and 1 3. So this is it looks even though it could be, you know, like a lot of my first passes have about these same numbers. This looks refined. Like, this looks like a deck that I would, if I saw it at a PTC, I'd be like, yeah, this guy's been working on this deck for a while.
Stuff we're definitely missing, I think, though. Any answer to removal. There's 3 different ones on order you could have chose. You chose none of them.
And one of them,
and they're all spam
block. Yeah.
And also one of them is a low block. Yeah. You don't have any way of dealing with assets, as far as I can tell. Like, no hacker.
Mm-hmm.
No hacker or Radical Edward.
Right.
I love Security's Destiny, at least in a side deck. Right. I do see you have Edge of Death in the side. Love that card as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just tech pieces that you have room for, where you could take out some of the 4-ofs potentially and put in good cards to help offset some things.
Just some more tight refining, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, I love it. I think it's super solid looking. Like, I think the assets, I think the actions look sick. I think the attack line looks sick. Like, I love Demon Realm Awakening. I never get to play it, but I love that card.
Yeah. It's a cool one. It's definitely a cool one. I've been blown out a few times with that card.
Yeah.
And sometimes you play in a bunch of throw decks. Like, that's sick. Love it.
Absolutely.
Want to go to the next one?
Thank you for this one. Thank you for this treat, because I think I have to review Midoriya at some point here, and I'm gonna.
That's the next one.
Myself. Oh God. Coming to you all the way from Mike Lowe's Garbage Zone, we have a Midoriya deck that's gonna make me want to kill myself, because I hate this character, because all of his effects are once per turn for no reason.
For no reason. There's a 4X Proud Persona or Public Persona.
Yeah, Public Persona is the sickest card that is in this deck, by the way. If you guys don't know, that's from the Reese demo decks, and it's actually probably the only reason this Midoriya deck is even playable remotely.
So it says if your punch attack is blocked, draw 1 card. If this attack is blocked, draw 1 card. So you can discard your hand, Passing the Torch, commit to say that, because they're going to block this 10, 15 plus damage attack, right? And
absolutely.
So you're going to go back to 4 cards in hand, which is really nifty.
It's super playable in that aspect. I wish you could just keep yeeting your hand, but I get it. They don't want to do that because they're cowards. But yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks pretty. It looks playable, right? Yeah. I would not play this at anything ever because I hate the deck. I hate the character. But if you were going to build this character, like, I think the way to do it is you're drawing more cards. Like, you have to get a lot of cards in your hand. And then Sharia Repa is actually not awful, right? Like, that's actually a pretty sick way of going about it.
Yeah, because it adds it to your, and after it resolves, you can give it the 10 damage and then add it. It goes back to your hand, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's not bad at all.
So it's deep. It's on a 7. But like, this is a character that's going deep, right? Like he needs a string to kill most people, unless he's just got a huge fucking reversal or something like that, which is the
biggest wang of all time.
Yeah, and this isn't the Chun-Li reversal. It's just the regular one. Leaping Elbow Smash. This is a block discarded. I don't like this, Mike Lowe.
Yeah,
you're trying to combo into Sharia Repa.
Oh, hey, it's my shit deck.
It's my shit deck. I like Sharia Repa. You should put the reversal Chun-Li attack, because Chun-Li has a punch reversal, and that would be cool. But it was You had a worse attack in before? Love it. We love even worse attacks.
He was, dude. Doesn't this guy have like at least one playable attack?
Yeah,
He's got like one playable attack.
I like his
right?
dunk, right? His dunk is like discard of momentum. It gets 5 speed. So like late in his string, it's like a 10 mid 15 or something like that. But I guess Nutcracker is sort of somewhere similar, right? Where it's just fast. It's already getting 4 damage.
These are all so bad.
You don't like the one that gets 5 speed if it has more than 10 damage?
I think that one's a card.
Yeah, it's the dunk. It's
can
the dunk.
play.
I wouldn't play 100 of it, but I play like 1 or 2 because, like, you know, if you haven't used Midoriya's Enhance and you have a momentum, like that's just a really fast big attack. It's for 15. Let's not talk shit about Shoryurepa. Shut up, Devin.
Dude, Devin is still riding the high of winning with his Shoryurepa deck. He's drunk with power right now.
He's drunk with power after shitting on the deck I built. Was it a Takeda? Repa's the only option. It's the only kill card. Everything's a kill card when you can put 10 damage on it.
There are a lot of things you could use as kill cards. I'm trying to like do a little quick scroll here to see if there's anything that was like, wow, this could be super sick. But also, yeah, I'm pretty sure Double Axe Handle is just the best version of 5% Detroit Smash of all time, right? Double Axe Handle is like the cheapest version of that because you're flipping one foundation. If they try and completely block it, their block mod gets +4, which is like +5 speed.
Double Axe Handle. Oh, it's a punch.
I think that card is super underrated, by the way. If people actually gave a shit about punch decks, this card would be in there.
Attempts to completely block. Yeah, I mean, that's 7 high, right?
Yeah, that one's 7 high for 15.
And you can, like, is this a good deck?
Yeah.
You Marrying Age it? Marrying Age should be 4 of because you're trying to dunk.
Yeah, also Marrying Age should just be 4 of. And also, yeah.
Yeah, this has a lot of stuff that I'm, like, kind of...
I don't even know why Honky Tonk Woman is in this deck.
Yeah.
MIKE LOWE was like, I need to beat up on my locals real quick. So he just put together this pile.
Yeah, like this. Yeah, this should have...
Yes. You were our first deck. We had a lot of good things to say. If
we loved it.
Go back and watch the VOD after this, or we'll have it up on YouTube. Both options will be available.
True.
Yeah, we had a lot of good things to say about your deck, dude. It was super sick.
Yeah, we liked it.
We have less good things to say about this fucking pile.
For MIKE LOWE.
This fucking MIKE LOWE pile that he presented us with.
I mean, like, you can live the dream, right? It's like Midoriya is always Midoriya. I was telling Phil before this that I wanna live the Mega Dream and play a life deck that's removing Rando Gun and tech sphering it so you can double up on your hands for the turn and give 2
Is Rando Gun a punch?
No, it's not. Fuck it. We don't care.
So you have to like play punch.
Yeah. So
play a punch.
You play.
Discard your whole hand.
I'll draw more.
Somehow draw tech sphere. Then play tech sphere.
No. Rando Gun says you can play it a second time, so you don't have to have played it already. It doesn't say you.
It just allows you to play it.
Just allows you to play it twice.
Okay,
So
I was like, oh my god.
This is a combo deck, right? Where you go like noob tech sphere, flip
that
the noob.
Is somehow worse than my current deck, Mike. Yeah. I agree.
Oh, it's 100% worse. But I just want to live the dream where I get to Midoriya twice.
Would Raging Dragon Zodiac offer more value than Repa? I don't think so. I thought that originally too. That's the one that draws you a buttload of cards, right? Yeah, that's the one that draws you a buttload of cards. But I think the nature of how this deck's playing, Repa does it a little bit better. Just because if you go super long with Repa, you can kind of just keep going with the Repa. Like, as long as you have enough, as long as you keep 2 attacks to your card pool, Repa's gonna...
Dragon Zodiac.
Yeah, that's the combo
yeah.
Foundation.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a little bit different, right? Like it's just huge statted already, but...
I'm sure there is there is a world where that works, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not sure that it's the same world where Repa works. Like,
yeah,
you're not be onto something where it's just 2 different decks.
Yeah, Repa is the most inspired idea in this deck because it does all the things you want it to do. Kind of like Proud Persona or Public Persona, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like it's after the attack resolves, so you have it in your hand afterwards. So you just keep doing it, right?
Yeah.
So assuming you drew more attacks, right? So you can go like Repa, or you can go like any other punches, Nutcracker, Repa, and then you like discard your hand, Proud Persona, passing the torch, draw 2 cards, And in those 4 cards, you get 1, and then you repa again, and then you play another attack into repa again. So you can just sort of like.
It seriously might be the greediest play of all time, but this deck might be sick with Street Justice. Street Justice is Reese's 2/5 non-block, where it's E-commit. If your punch attack deals damage, your next punch gets 2/2. Like, I could almost get behind that. Or even just playing Gauntlet Flurry. Like, this deck should be playing Gauntlet Flurry.
Gauntlet. Oh, no. Gauntlet Flurry. If the attack deals damage, your next punch gets 2/2. I
think it should just be playing that. As a 2-low-4, like 3 diff. I think it should that should just be in the deck.
Yeah, a little 3 diff. That helps you combo. That, you know, less difficulty on your attacks means you can probably make that 7 difficulty at some point.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty sick.
I like it.
Or even like I think
I don't know
there's
why
room for cards.
I don't know why there's 4 cut loose in this deck.
Or 2 Soul Calibur.
You're not doing
an aggro deck.
I mean, Soul Calibur's whatever. It's fine. But like it's good loose. I'm done here. It's Midoriya.
4 cut loose is a hard mistake. Perfect. All right, as long as we know.
Moving along.
I think we can go to the next deck. I've shit on this Midoriya.
The first of 2 Azwell decks.
Yeah, the first of 2 mill Azwell decks.
Yeah.
Do we have Keenan's or do we have
this is Keenan's
Jacob's?
that I actually played against. I played against this one. And
me
then
go
we have
find
Jacob
this
Masur
deck.
second.
Okay, Keenan's is kind of neat, right? It looks like it's doing a lot of the stuff we were trying to do earlier in the year with like Mill Bison.
Sure.
That's kind of what it looks like to me, but also it has a kill condition.
Yeah, it's got big Fumas.
It's like,
Big
by the
boy
way,
Fumas.
also if you're too worried about not dying, here's Fuma for 50.
Yeah. Yeah. It's neat. I definitely think the biggest thing he's missing is Manji.
Wait, is he playing Evil Bow without Manji?
Yeah, he's playing Evil Bow with Manji.
Oh.
He should have 4x Manji. That's the biggest thing. Like, this deck was cool. But if he had Manji, he could just loop Fatality every turn.
This is a Chaos deck too, right?
Yeah,
Why?
it's a Chaos
like,
deck.
why not Psycho Energy also?
True.
Is
Well,
it maybe
he-
just not a?
he-
Well,
maybe-
it's not a thick deck.
Yeah, maybe he
either,
wasn't
so-
running. Maybe he wasn't running like he wasn't running like I don't see any DLC cards, right? Like there's none in the description or anything like that.
Okay, yeah. This
Yeah.
this could just be like no DLC.
But
related.
he's got like
he-
he's got this weird Taki thing. Like this is very like the creases in Keenan's brain must be so deep. Because he's got a Reki Maru like sub theme where things are leaving his card pool, and he's responding with Reki, so he runs 106 checks.
Okay.
You know, like Arcane Assassin.
All right, I guess, man.
And like Arcane Assassin also just works because you're trying to play Fuma, right? And like not everybody can be Colby Graham and check a 6 every time they want to play Fuma. So you check a 3 and you're like, no, I actually checked the 3. Check a 6, right?
A triple Tijuana grocery stack. There are 3 copies of that bad boy in this deck.
Well, I like that. I actually like that a lot because Azwell's commit enhance is an actual cost unless you have Tijuana groceries.
I'm gonna level with you. I have no idea what Azwell is.
All right, let's read them for you. So it's the first one is enhance your attack. Your opponent discards the top 3 cards of their deck. If no attack were discarded this way, draw 1 card, and your opponent discards 5 cards. So it's like mill 3. If there's no attacks there, mill more. Okay, and the second one is commit a foundation, so you can do it on your opponent's attacks too. Your opponent discards the top 3 cards of their deck, and if all of them share the same control value, this attack gets +6 or -6 damage.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you can do it on your opponent's attacks, yeah, there's some things that he's not playing in this deck. If he wanted to go hard on the mill, like I get why they're not in there. Like there's the Blanca card that just adds it forces your opponent to add a foundation to the top of their deck. But you could just probably go a little bit harder in one direction or the other, right? Like I think that the mill theme is so good with him. You should probably play Manjis. And then you just like have Fumas in the deck and Fog Blankets and like sometimes murder some people.
I think definitely like the obvious glaring weakness is playing Evil Bow without Manji, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Those two just are like fucking peanut butter and jelly, dude. They're like bacon and legs.
They're like bacon and legs. You need the Manji. If nobody's read Manji Ninjutsu, if you've been living under
that card is the
rock.
big stick with. It's the big stick with Evil Bow, and it means you have not played against Bromley all year long.
True.
If you're playing it, if you have not seen Manji Evil Bow, it's a pretty fucking neat little tutor your discard pile type combo, which works obviously super well with cards like Fatality if you're trying to mill them.
Yeah.
Where you can get the momentum with Fatality, discard the Fatality, get Evil Bow on top, basically draw the Fatality back by removing a card from your hand.
Yeah, I when I played against this deck, it was pretty fun. I think he like milled me once and he killed me once. So
Sure.
he got to like live the dream and do both ends of the spectrum. And like sometimes you're playing Azwell against like the perfect condition. Like I was playing my party time Satoshi deck and I played against an Azwell and I never could win, right? Because I was playing Let's Parties and there were only 4 attacks in the deck, so there were like 46 control 5s. And
Whoops.
So the Azwell's like commit a foundation. Your Let's Party is actually a 0 damage attack.
Yeah, imagine. Like,
like living the dream is so much fun with that character. Although it's got to be frustrating for the opponent. I played it twice. The first time I played it with Gren, and my Gren deck has half attacks and half foundations. So he
the opposite of the dream.
The opposite of the dream for him, right? So sometimes you play into somebody who's playing a really aggressive deck, and like he never got to live the dream there, so to speak. But like it's cool. It's fun. It's really neat. I think that if you want to do the mill thing, which you should do, you should put in that Blanca card that makes your opponent add a card to the top of their deck. And it randomly seals thing after you play like Fatality or something like that if you add a momentum. But that Blanca card makes it a little bit more consistent, right? And if you have 3 of them out, it's just free enhance half the turn, right? Or a free mill 5, or plus 6 damage. You know, so like
a free one or the other.
Yeah, one or the other. So whichever one you want it to be. And I think that's neat. I think that would be if you're going to the NED Psycho Energy and Maji. If you're going mill, right? That's 12 cards to like shift some things around if you're trying to go mill. And if you're not trying to go mill, you're probably fine, right? Like Arcane Assassin is so cool if you're trying to like attack really aggressively. And same with all these six checks, right?
It's such a like Keenan deck.
Sure.
Keenan is the only person I've ever seen build decks with Arcane Assassin in him, because I'm pretty sure he built that like Heidi deck originally.
Makes sense.
I think he's the only Arcane Assassin enthusiast in the entire world. Bo Tucker now,
but Bo Tucker he's he passed the torch to Bo Tucker. All right, but I'm pretty, Dark Tournament looms, neat, pretty self-explanatory. Focus and release.
Picks up more.
Focus and release is really cool if you're worried about decks that are running like reductions or like just cards where the like card pool matters, right? And there's quite a few of those these days. So it's a neat little inclusion, and it helps count towards Ricky and Mekimaru. Love it. It's neat. It's cool. We're in there.
What does this guy do? Focus release? What is it?
It's F, remove, discard a card from your card pool, and then respond after you're dealt damage, discard a card from both players' card pools, and the next one gets -3. So sometimes
that's cool, yeah.
Sometimes you play against a reduction deck and just like discard the reduction from their card pool, or like the power cycle it in, like it's cool.
Yeah, it's like boop,
get
it out of here.
Yeah, it's sometimes watches things, and then he's got a neat little discard from card pool sort of sub theme, so he doesn't draw the fog blankets or something like that. He can still discard stuff. So it's neat.
Sure.
I don't know if it's like a super competitive thing, but it checks a 6, so it goes hand in hand with the rest of the deck.
It fits the theme.
It fits the theme. So we're there.
We're thematic here. We're lore gamers.
You ready to go to the next one from?
We gotta go to the second Azwell deck, right?
Jacob Masur, dude. So
Jacob Masur's Azwell deck.
Yeah, the first thing you see is that the very first card is that what I was talking about, the Blanca card, the Fight Like a Beast, where you're adding a foundation to the top of their deck.
Or that's one. Just like 3.
Yeah, it's just once per turn. It doesn't have a block, but
it doesn't matter. You're -6 damage.
Yeah, the problem with it is that if you don't have 3 of them out, it's sometimes not worth, because you're getting rid of like one of your free mill things.
Sure.
And if you're putting
7 instead of 8, shucks.
Yeah. Well. Well, it's a little bit of a risk reward thing.
Sure.
You punch your odds a little bit, and that's neat, and if you have 3 of them out, then it's just guaranteed rip 5 from the top of the deck and draw a card, or plus 6 damage, right? So I think it's cool. It's just neat. And it sometimes...
This one does have Psycho Energy in it also.
It does have Psycho Energy. Yeah, Psycho Energy... Let me go find it on the TTS. I gotta open the TTS. Psycho Energy...
Funny enough, though, this is still running 1,000,006 checks.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, this deck still has 12, at least 12 6 checks.
so he's not running the Taki package underneath it.
Yeah.
But he's a little bit heavier on the Mill Dream. So Psycho Energy's there.
Holy shit, this has Test Your Might in it.
Test Your Might. So my confusion is like, how do I get an attack to Test Your Might range of 15, right? Like, I don't see anything here that's like plus 100 million damage, right?
You just hope you give it 6 damage with Azwell, dude.
You hope you get it 6 damage, and like, you know, maybe you just mill 5 cards because most of your attacks have printed 5 or more damage, I guess. But if it were me, I just like, oh, I see. Grant You Death is there because it works on everything but Skullberry and Rolling Attack. That's neat, I guess.
It's very Wombo-y.
Yeah, this has a little bit of a that's pretty neat. I would like to see like gateway shuffles because it flexes offensively and defensively.
I think Test Your Might is the funniest card in this deck.
Yeah, Test Your Might. Test Your Might is that's what I want to see. I want to go harder on Test Your Might and just play.
I keep
shuffles.
giggling. This is so funny to me.
Play shuffles and like some of those. There's got to be some chaos cards that dumpster that put huge damage on things, right? You know, maybe there's like a meeting of the minds here, right?
Dude, this is so much random mill from action.
Hang on. If he gets rid of Grant You Death and instead plays Fuma plus something has to get to 15 damage easy enough, right? Because Fuma's just
plus,
after
literally Fuma its own momentum.
Yeah,
and
a fatality.
And Azwell gets it to 15, right?
Well, Azwell would get it to 18, right? If you hit the nuts.
It's good, right?
Yeah,
that you just need to be at 18.
Yeah, so you go like rolling attack, or like you fatality, rolling attack, Fuma, add the rolling attack, powerful 6 twice, and it's there, right? It's at 18 damage. So then you test your might, and you draw 3 cards, and you test your might.
Dude,
so maybe we have to find the in between place. I think that this deck, instead of running Dark Tournament Looms, should run Manji and Evil Bow.
Yeah, dude. All decks should have Manji and Evil Bow.
Manji Evil Bow every day, because then you get to loop fatalities much more easily.
As I'm gonna put a chaos deck in front of you later that doesn't play Manji and Evil Bow. So.
Well,
Manji and Evil Bow in every mill deck ever.
Every mill deck, yeah. You need because in standard,
see it.
You need
stamp it, send it to everybody.
Yeah, you gotta grab that fatality. I mean, I've been playing so much retro, I forgot how nuts that is to just pick up fatality every turn.
Fuma with Grant You Death is actually nuts.
Fuma with Grant You Death?
I gotta read that Grant You Death again.
Yeah.
It attacks damage is no its print speed, draw 2 cards, and discard 1 card. Then your opponent discards top 3 cards. I mean, I like the ability to filter with all these cards. Like, I think Test Your Might and Grant You Death drawing you 1,000,000 cards is actually kind of sick.
Yeah, so maybe you don't, if you're gonna do Fuma, which you should do Fuma this way, steal that from Keenan and just grab Fuma. And
you're already running 106 checks anyway.
Yeah, and like Crimson Vortex and Woodman's Leaf Shield and Rolling Attack are all 3 speed, so they. Oh no, you don't. That Fuma doesn't care about that, right? Fuma doesn't care about 3 speed. That's Fog Blanket. Yeah. So yeah, you just Fuma and make Fuma for 100,000 billion damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
think you can accidentally kill people too.
I think Keenan and Jacob should get together and make the one true Azwell deck.
Yeah, the one true Azwell deck to rule them all, guys.
As Keenan said, all's well that Azwell.
Yeah. Well, also randomly kill opponents too. Definitely.
And also randomly kill opponents, because sometimes people's reaction to like a mill deck or an alt win condition is just play out their hand, and man, Fuma does sure murder people,
Wait, Jacob, weren't you playing Nightmare at Nats? I swear we played at like top tables and you were playing Nightmare and you didn't play me with Azwell.
Maybe you played Nightmare in.
Did I beat your
singles?
Azwell so quick I don't remember it? I don't remember this happening.
Fuma with Grant.
I definitely played Jacob at a top table.
Maybe it was in teams. It might have been in teams.
Maybe it was teams.
Because in teams he definitely played Nightmare. Because I died to the burn against
teams.
Nightmare against that deck, and I was so
he was
sad.
playing this and sided into Nightmare. I just totally wrote off the Azwell part of that. Holy
playing
shit!
This? I don't remember seeing Azwell in the first round there, huh?
Holy shit! All right. Anyway,
that's pretty cool.
Anyway,
yeah, that's cool. That
all right. Yeah, I'm about that. I didn't know that at all.
All right. Well, yeah, that's cool. This deck is.
Strict hard against me in ads and at Worlds.
Uh,
What do we got next on the old
we
agenda
got
here?
Nick Regan's Eva.
I love this deck.
Yeah,
Dude, he beat my ass so quick in a Canadian Weekly, but it is the coolest 500 card deck I've ever seen in my entire life.
So the Body Slam is Gorefest, and Loves Your Blade is Hellfire of Despair. So let's grab those from TTS real quick. So Gorefest is kind of like the win con for Ava, right? This is... I mean, she makes everything
so sick.
2/+2, but it's stats starts at 8 high 8, and then like later in the game, you just have 400 cards removed.
Dude, it's like turn 3.
Yeah,
turn 3. This is for 1,000.
It just kills people at that point, right? So that's
absolutely
really neat. That's really neat. And then Hellfire of Despair combined with Gorefest is just take your whole discard pile and shove it into the remove from game pile and make
pick your discard pile up.
Yeah.
And you put it over
and
here.
You just fuel Gorefest even more. And then sometimes it just prevents you from dying, you know? That card's
These are actually not even Inferno's cards. These are actually just Ava's cards. They might as well have just put Ava on them.
Yeah.
Given them Ava symbols and been like, here's how you kill people now. Go.
Yeah.
Go
now,
off into
there's
the world.
100,000 attacks in here, but my favorite attack in the entire deck is Stretch Kick. Because Stretch Kick
Stretch Kick
is
in there?
always live, dude. Stretch Kick
is always live.
Stretch Kick is so much fun.
Kick.
I have this great story from playing at my first PTC in Atlanta where Goose is playing. He was playing his Twinkle Murdoch deck, and I played against Alex Marco's Twinkle Murdoch deck. And afterwards, I went to Goose. I was like, Goose, you gotta play Stretch Kick. You gotta play Stretch Kick because Alex Marco beat my ass with Stretch Kick because Twinkle just gives it +1/+1 or whatever, right? And then he was like 2/2 to the next one, and this, and I was like, ah! And like Stretch Kick is like good enough to play in Ken, just because randomly you might get +2/+2 to the next one, but in this deck it's just free. Like you always have it live.
Yeah, it's absolutely free.
Yeah, so it's really cool.
That card is sick.
Yeah, and then the rest of them are just
Stretch Kick.
The rest of these are just like the nuts, right? Leg Shredder, just because you might you're gonna remove them. You're removing 8 cards every single enhanced step, and then Ailurophobia.
Sometimes you just hit people with Ailurophobias for 50.
Yeah,
sometimes you hit the Kurabachi kick.
Yeah. Sometimes you just go deep. You go hard.
I'm pretty sure if every foundation in this deck was blank, the deck would still do the exact same thing if it had just Gorefest or Hellfire of Despair.
Oh yeah. There's some cool ones like Hellward Bound is pretty cool. God of War is neat for this character because she's going so far in. Soul of the Sword's pretty cool, but like, it's just 100 cards. Actually, just 131 cards, right? So,
it's 2 decks.
It's actually 2 decks shoved together plus 11 cards.
Okay, here's my favorite random inclusion. This deck 1x Esoteric Yoga, like just in case in your 131 card deck you see your one piece of tech.
True.
Stop somebody from drawing. Just in case you see that one piece of tech.
The funniest thing to me about this deck is that it has a couple 3x's and stuff like that, because it's like, man, I think I have too many Never Stumbles in this 130 card deck. Or like, poor Hellward Bound's really messing with my three diff numbers.
Yeah, it's really, I just really can't, I've had too many of them on the table at once, man.
Marshall Banana should be 4x. That's just 5 damage, right?
Yeah, wait, where's the fucking Ken one? Is the Ken one in here? Oh, yeah, I feel violent.
Yeah, I feel violent. That one's actually a 4x. Speed is better than damage.
Best way to solve removing 8 cards with attack is to play 2 decks. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
I love it. Yeah, I love it a lot.
I love it.
Yeah,
maybe you could play a deck. I think a deck and a half would suffice, but I'm not going to be mad when you give your attack 70-70 on turn 3.
Yeah, I played against
it's just
this.
a matter of drawing Gorefest.
I think I played against it in a Legendary Wolf tournament, and he bricked or something like that. And like I definitely was dead if he had another attack or something like that. We had, but it was spooky, man. I was definitely flying by the seat of my pants because the deck is
he beat me in 5 minutes.
Damn.
It was like a whole set in 5 minutes. And I was just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do about this.
That's so funny. Yeah, the dream has to be getting down to like the last card, because that's always been my favorite thing as Ken, is when you play Ken and you like mathed it out and you have 1 card left in your deck during the Kurobushi kick, and you
There's
kill him.
like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Send it.
Send it. It's for a trillion.
Yeah, send it for 700 damage.
Yeah, but I like this deck a lot. Like, we don't have to look at the fun edge, but some of the fun ones are like Born from Destruction's live a lot of the time. Worthy Vessel.
Yeah, you get a lot of. There's like a lot of cool like remove from game card stuff.
Yeah.
Like I Feel Violent,
Acrobatics.
Born from Destruction.
These help fuel
it's
your.
playing the 1/5 that removes the thing. I think Worthy Vessel. Yeah,
Worthy Vessel. Those fuel your tech spheres, so you can have 8 copies of. You know, your
you get 8 copies of Gorefest.
Yeah, even though it's 8x is still only 2 decks worth of a card, so it evens it out.
Yeah, you gotta keep yourself consistent.
Yeah, I love it though. I love that deck a lot. I think it's neat. Ship it as is.
Hell yeah! Oh, ship that, dude. I'm playing it every day. Let's go.
That
Play
card's
4x
fun.
Black Bear Diner though. Fuck it. Why not?
4x black.
That
Yeah,
card-
true. Fuck it. You
Whatever.
Need
Fuck it, dude. What do you need? Whatever, man. You're gonna draw one of them. Hopefully, you're not gonna draw
True.
more than one. You have 131 cards.
Oh, dude, Black Bear with Hellward Bound is actually disgusting. Right?
I don't even know what Hellward Bound does.
It's form flip. Discard a card from your card pool.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's pretty sick.
That's pretty good for the deck that's gonna check 3s because it has 48 of them.
Dude, that's not even that bad of a ratio. That's like
Right.
a third of the deck.
Oh, you actually, you know what? One of the things that I will like, because have you ever played like a giant deck before, like 100+ card deck before?
On purpose?
Oh, I'm just asking if
Not
you've
in
ever
a while.
played. Okay, all right. Well, like one of the really quirky things about playing a deck that big is that the checks are so stringy. It doesn't matter what your ratio is; they're just really stringy, right? Like because there's 48 of them, sometimes you just check 6 3s in a row. It doesn't matter that your odds were the same as if you're running a regular deck. It's just stringy, you know?
Yeah, sometimes you can just be like, oh no, and it just keeps going.
You got fricked, you know?
Sometimes you get fricked.
Yeah.
I love it. All
right, next one.
Yeah, I'm onto it. Who do we got up?
This is the Bakugo deck from Tyler Zane.
Bakugo deck.
Pieces.
The Bakugo deck is was brought to us with cards from the Bakugo support that they spoiled.
Yeah, I've got them.
When they did My Hero Academia Fest or whatever.
I've got them here.
There are some cards that aren't out yet.
Yeah.
But
That's cool.
We are going to provide you with the pictures. And by we, I mean Christopher Bromley is going to provide you with the pictures. I'm just the face.
Put it over my head. Yeah, I love Bakugo. And Phil,
I hate Bakugo.
Phil will never let me live it down.
No, wait, it's fine. I liked that one deck. You just scrubbed out. It was fine.
It's okay. It happens.
You weren't lucky that day, and it was a fire deck. So if you're not lucky, you just lose.
Yeah, you just lose sometimes. But this one isn't like a loser mill thing. He has like a little sub theme. Secret Stash is super neat. I never thought of that.
Can you just secret stash 2 losers into your discard?
Yeah, you just put them in your discard pile, right?
Is that just they just lose fucking 4
Yeah.
per secret stash?
Yeah,
And then
4.
where are the expert archeries?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is if you're gonna run Secret Stash, you may as well run the reshuffle, right? Like you have Secret Stash, you have I don't know on air. I think you just have Secret or Expert Archery.
You can off symbol Folktale Storyteller.
Shuffle. True. Yeah, that's
because
probably fine.
you just play it first.
Let's look at air shuffle.
Okay, wait.
Voices in the dark. Voices in the dark.
Yo, I got a boner because I saw Myas and Anus, and that's not how that works.
That
kind of sucks.
Yeah. Well, no, Voices in the Dark is one of them. You know that adds it back there, and it doesn't. It does. You know, but I agree. You probably there's so many. Oh my god, let me find this thing. There's so many shared like fire and air things. Oh, maybe not that many.
They'll compare Bakugo to Proto Man 2. Bakugo's probably better than Proto Man 2. I'd have to read Proto Man 2 again, but I think Proto Man 2 was uniquely bad.
But if you're going to run this Howitzer Impact card, you need to run every single one of the mill cards on air, right? Like anything that can mill a card, you need to run. You need to run in this deck. Like you should be running 4 Second Stately Beasts and 4 of the other one, the -2 damage one, because that's just a million damage on this, right?
It's not really trying to loser people though, right?
No, but like it's just extra damage sometimes. But Howitzer Impact is just huge.
Oh, I don't know what Howitzer is. Is that
Oh, dude, read it.
What does it do?
It says
What is it? Hold on,
it's
let me pull it up.
5 low 6 diff, right?
pull this
Its
up.
responds after 1 or more cards are added to your discard pile. Give this attack +1 damage.
Oh yeah. You need like a million mill cards.
Yeah, you need.
Yeah, wait.
You need lots of mill cards, and it's like destroy a foundation. Give this thing 2 speed. So you like, let's say you're playing a aggressive temper, right?
You can do so much with this.
You play aggressive temper in your staging area. You destroy it with howitzer impact. Boom, bingo, bango, +3/+2, right? +2/+3, and you Bakugo again. You destroy another thing for 2 damage, +1/+3 more damage, right? And then you second Zitly Beast, give a thing 2 speed +1 more damage. Like it's just free real estate, free real estate.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
I think Howitzer Impact will make him probably more of a real character.
Oh yeah.
I still hate him.
I'm gonna zoom in. I'm gonna zoom in on this fire symbol over here. Because if Big Shot is in the format where he is, that card becomes nuts. Because every Big Shot is also +1 more damage. It's kind of like the opposite of Judy. Well, not Judy. Julia. Right? Julia was giving +1 speed every time you used the Big Shot.
Yeah. Because you're still making a check.
Still making a
which
check.
Which is adding cards to your discard pile.
Yeah. So like off of death, you have lots of checks with like Manji or not Manji, Mechanical Ninja. Off of fire, you have like Soul of the Sword. You have the second Silly Beast and the what's that other one? I forget what it's called. It's the one that heals one when you unblock if you're 5 whatever.
Energy absorption.
Energy absorption. Yeah, you use both of those. And just make this for 1 million. This card's huge. It's so big. It's so big. Yeah.
It is the biggest card of all time.
Yeah. And then
it is a non-disputable biggest card of all time. It's fucking yoked.
Did he have capabilities in there?
Capabilities is in the deck. That is correct. Yeah. I also have to read that one.
It's like a
this is prototype.
Yeah,
this is prototype, but it's 1 less difficulty, 1 less check.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
It is a juiced prototype. You know, you can discard a momentum for +2/+6, or just like stat basic +1/+3 or something. Yeah, just tap it for 1/3, and that's
you just tap it and blow it up, so it's still like +1/+5.
Yeah, it's pretty good in this character.
That's not bad.
Yeah, pretty good in this character.
Yeah, I like that.
After that, we've got Let's Fight Bad Guys. Oops. Let's Fight Bad Guys, which is stun hate. You know, after it's committed, you get to ready 2 things. Pretty good. Pretty good.
That's neat too.
There was there was a Street Fighter card that did that.
Those Catterday cards are all air fire. Oh yeah, what's his face? Bakugo? Not. Wait. What is the cat guy's name?
Oh, Byakko. Anybody with a B and then an O at the end of their name has to have air and fire.
Fucking weep shit, dude. I can't pronounce these weep names.
And then the last card is the 3 diff, which I don't really like. This 3 diff.
Tamron Cardwell, yo.
Oh, Tam's in the chat. Everybody send Tam your love.
Yeah, Blast Rush Turbo kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's just a 3 diff. Like,
it's okay. Maybe it doesn't suck that much.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Well, in a 6-hander where like every attack matters, I think it does better. It is pretty.
Yeah, it's questionable. Yeah. It's questionable to say the least. It also plays his other attack in here. This is more themey, I suppose.
Double Barrage Ultra.
I don't know what this card does.
I think what this deck is missing is my favorite Bakugo attack, Boner Flame.
Yo, Boner Flame's pretty good. Boner Flame even has air.
Yeah, it has air and fire, just like Bakugo's cards.
Yeah, honestly, like Bowflame probably goes instead of the that one. Oh, I like the 3 diff if you're going for ace maneuvers. I changed my mind.
Because it just adds to the count.
Yeah, you're just going. This looks like it's just going kind of for an ace maneuvers type play. Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable actually. If you're just trying to like ace maneuvers them at the end of a string.
My thing is that he's
could definitely have impulsive in it though, right? Like if you're gonna go for ace maneuvers, you want impulsive.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think I would like play this type of style.
But
that does seem like to be the theme. Like you're gonna go with Bakugo's discarding effect. You play the 3 diff. It discards itself. You play United Against Terrorism to ready cards. You play Focus and Release to discard cards. Like it's got some things going for it. Like I would definitely play impulsives. I'd probably lean a little bit more into it.
Yeah, if I were gonna do this style of deck on air, I would be running Impalement and some other of these Fury attacks that like draw cards, because like Ace Maneuver is a lot less effective when you haven't drawn 3+ attacks, right?
Yeah, it's gotta be the late game big boy typically.
Yeah. Sometimes you live the dream and like you just draw 5 attacks and 2 of them are Ace Maneuver and you're just like, oh yeah, we'll go in. But
Sure.
I think Hellfire Impalement plus bad checks just means you're gonna yeet
Reki
stuff.
Maru.
Yeah,
Reki Meki would be super good in this deck.
Reki
There's
Meki.
some 6 checks in there. We
Sure.
could get just like this is just Reki Meki power hour, honestly.
Yeah. I don't think it's
this whole
as
video.
I don't think it's as good as like Ataki if you're doing that. Or even like Spike 2 dot. The big thing that Bakugo has going for him is the consistency of like Double Barrage being for 1 million and the Howitzer being for 1 million. So
I kind of like this unit against terrorism card though.
yeah, it's
That
neat
card's
for him.
sick.
It's neat for him.
I actually like that as in Bakugo. I don't know what we're readying. None of these cards commit except for Servitude for Survival.
It's probably just
but...
to go deeper earlier, right?
I guess the 2/5 his support capabilities commits. That's pretty good.
But he does have 3 copies of Servitude for Survival for you, bud.
That's my favorite card.
Yeah.
I love that card.
It's everything he wants,
Changing
right?
the zone of your attacks is broken.
Yeah, rezone something to low, rezone it to high, whatever your opponent's not being able to block, and it gives 2 speed.
Yeah, card's sick. They finally changed that on fucking TTS also. It gives 2 speed on TTS now.
Right. Oh, the problem, Devin,
Finally!
with Shadowblade is that it doesn't have Fury, so he can't discard it.
He cannot clear it unless you're playing all of the clear cards itself.
Yeah.
Which you could make a case for, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you could run like...
I think this deck's caught a little bit in between a couple things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I agree
It's
with
doing
that.
a little bit of here, a little bit of there. It's more theme decky than anything else right now.
Also running Focus and Release, and that's kind of like a impulsive sort of effect. Hellward Bound also does that sort of thing.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to go to the next one?
Yes. Is Hellward Bound have air?
Yes, because it's Taki's card.
Huh. Hellward Bound is not Taki's card.
Is this yours? Oh, wait. This is yours.
Hellward Bound is actually a back page 7th
Cross card. Yeah, and it's pretty sweet, man. Form flip, not like commit to do it. It's good.
Yeah.
Aggressive.
Yeah. This is my deck
Yeah.
that I presented. Tim 2 dots, dude. Just so we could talk shit and make fun of Bromley the whole time as we beat him up with Tim Keefe because he hates Tim Keefe.
I hate Tim Keefe, dude.
No, honestly, I actually just built this because I think we were watching like Colby play or something in one of the retro tournaments, and somebody mentioned like Tim Keefe with Fuma, and I was like, oh god. So my first build had like 4 Fumas and a bunch of dumb shit. And then I was like, wow, what if I just watched Tim Keefe build a deck and then I changed some of the cards? So this is literally pretty much just a deck Tim Keefe built that I put different cards in.
Ah. Okay.
But yeah, this is kind of like an example of some stuff that I like playing. I kind of like the idea of like you can't really fail your cards with Tim, so you get to like lean super heavily into like weird strings. I've played a lot of Tim, obviously. Like I played him at Nats. I played him in one in NDPTC. Like did really well both events that I've played him in. And I like the character. You're turning off your opponent's best foundations. You're getting even a lot more answers off of Chaos. Like this is like Chaos. This is the Chaos highlight reel in my opinion, where you get to play all of Chaos's super good foundations and actually have a way of killing people because Chaos can't do that.
Yeah, Tim being able to actually play superior genetics pretty consistently is a big deal. Because
that card's sick.
Basically, another one of his response, right? 3 Eyes of Hiei is a monster card. I think that card does mega work. Wear Light is a monster card. Faces of Monster is a crazy ass card. Castaway and Forgotten, like it's good shit. And then also
Chaos
the DLC
is
cards.
the best foundations.
It has some very, very strong ones. It doesn't have the consistency of like Earth, Good, or trying to think of Evil.
I think
but
I think it does have the consistency. Honestly, I think what it's lacking is low difficulty cards that are actually playable. Like the best spam they have is Pure of Heart, and I'm not even playing it.
Right.
Like it didn't even match up in block zones.
What Chaos doesn't have going for it is a single like cheap speed hate foundation. which are sort of falling. Like I've noticed that not many people are playing those right now. But
I mean, they have predict the Blanca one. They have the 1-5 Blanca one.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah, that is actually the only one. And a lot of the new one diffs that do that are like flipping or destroying while committed.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have like a Fei type card. And then a lot of its defense are like kind of weirdly gated or have some workarounds. Like Wearlight sometimes washes people just because they're running that one Raiden 1-5. But also some other times you play against an opponent who only has responses in their staging area, and you're like, sick.
Yeah, not great against Lord Raptor, but then again, no enhances are.
Yeah.
They have like sick cards though. Like Shelva Proud Man's insane.
Yeah.
Wearlight's insane. Face of a Monster's insane. Like they're all just super good.
Yeah.
Like I love Chaos's foundation base. There's just no way of killing people. You have to like really try. Like this deck is purely built upon the back of drawing reduction and hoping to God that it works. Like
right.
It is all reduction. Like
reduction into lots of other things is pretty scary, especially because like the big thing that you had when I played against it, the biggest thing that the deck had going for it is that it could really reliably play all of the really high impact 5 and 6 diffs that Chaos has, which are not as consistent in other decks because a lot of them are sort of combo focused. Like Life Force Thread really wants another thing to give it speed and damage. Ghost Thief really wants momentum. Flying Yamato Spear needs a momentum. Fuma needs another card in its card pool, so it's a 7 diff. You know, Hate Fish you can't even use unless you have a card before it. You know, Firefly Gunner, etc. It's just every one of these cards needs something before it, and reduction sort of ties it together. And Tim Keefe allows you to do it a couple turns earlier, just because he's like, well, I made the check. What are you talking about? Sure, yeah. It definitely doesn't have the situation where Order does, right? Like, Order plays 4 Moonset and 4 Meteor, and then, like, you figure out the rest of your attack lineup. Chaos definitely has to...
You just get the auto includes.
Yeah. And, like, Earth had that situation for a long time where it was like, you have Cheeritos, Nutcrackers, missile launchers. There you go.
Lows and throws,
yeah. Chaos doesn't have that situation. It's a little bit more mix and match, because a lot of the characters on Chaos, like, their support is very, like, tied to... their support, right? Ghost Thief has some like neat cheeky synergy with reduction because it puts them in desperation for the enhance.
Yeah.
Sadistic Waste has it too because it's a big fat multiple with +2/+2 in it. So I mean, like that's the thing. There is that reduction really like the best thing that Chaos does is make fat multiples and fat powerful attacks. And
Chaos's favorite thing to do is have reduction.
It just has
Chaos sucks. Meanwhile, there were 3 Chaos decks.
It's neat. It's
two of those were mill decks,
and sometimes you draw 3 Gateway Shuffle and a Man's Dream.
True. Also, Life Force Thread's a ranged throw. I don't know why, but it is a ranged throw.
It is a ranged throw.
You can Gateway Shuffle your throw, which is kind of cool.
It's pretty neat.
It's pretty neat. I would change some things in this, I'm pretty sure. Like, I would, like, maneuver around. But this is, like, the rough build that I had already put together.
The roof draft?
It's like the second rough draft. It's like my rough draft was dog shit, and then I was like, well, let's watch Tim Keefe build this deck, and then he explained to me a lot of things that were actually playable.
Right.
And I was like, oh, wow, wait, maybe this deck doesn't suck. Yeah. But yeah, I would probably play like Spine Sweep or something like that. Like I would find a way to make Firefly Gunner not in the deck because there are just too many good assets in the game, and there are too many good like multiples where I'd either play Gyro Chain Gash or I'd play Spine Sweep, where like you just have to be able to block these things.
Hey Aaron, are you ready for another Chaos deck? Because
Did you build a Chaos deck also?
I also submitted a Chaos deck.
No shit.
It was Kyo.
Oh yeah, you submitted the only retro deck though.
Yeah, it's true. I did.
You submitted the only retro deck.
Kyo was like the first retro deck that I built because I was just reading all the characters and I read him and I was like, oh, this is just Faye but different. He always has 100 momentum.
Yeah.
So where you hate Firefly Gunner, I want to burn people to death with Firefly Gunner. Like that card's so
I mean, you
good.
could do a good job.
Yeah, he just gets there. It's so cool. This is like the first build I made. It's definitely a lot different now. Like I don't think I play Evil Bow anymore. But there you go. For Manji. For Manji.
For Manji, for Evil Bow
For
is
Evil
like
Bow.
is the standard Bromley.
Gotta have it.
Any deck that he runs has 4 of each if he can play it.
I think in this deck it just made sense because like I wanted to make 100 checks, right?
Yeah, you're
So
making a million checks
I
anyway.
I probably like originally there was only one in here because I was just mechanical ninjas like, hey, if you hit an Evil Bow, you get to go grab something, and then also you add it to momentum with Kyo. But some of the cool stuff is like T1 is really good in this character for the same reason it's good in Azwell because you have to like commit a card to grab the thing. So are like Azure Nightmare and Dreaming of Becoming Whole. Because you can just ready those things afterwards. So I mean the deck is pretty cool. It plays a lot like the Fey deck I played 100 years ago. With you just play Caltrops into a super fast fat attack. In this case it's like rapid strikes. You could probably play reduction if you.
That is
do
a
this.
stun 100 attack.
Yeah, Caltrops is so big. I think the
stun 100.
The biggest stun I've ever had on a Caltrops was like a stun 16. I think.
Jesus Christ.
Where you're just like, look at my staging area. Oh wait, it's actually my momentum.
That's too much.
Them. But then you Firefly Gunner twice and you burn them for 15 each time. Or your Rapid Strikes. The really fun thing about this deck is that you can actually get Rapid Strikes off really really early in the game. Because if you play enough checks between like Shimmer of Madness and Original Mechanical Ninjas and things like that, you can actually get the 3 momentum. So you can just be like 3 momentum, 3 more momentum, multiple 3, or like you do whatever else. And so it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
It's not good. I'm not going to call it good, but it is fun. It's super fun to play. If you want to have fun
the last
with the deck,
card you play a turn is actually the free card too. Like anytime your last card of a turn is free.
Right. So
70 plus 7 damage. 70 damage.
So what I would do, what I love to do as the last card was 16 instant slashes because you respond and give it 100 damage, and then you get enhanced to give it even more damage, and it's unblockable fast. Like that's fun. That's fun. I probably would play Sand Grenade instead of Evil Bow, but I mean 16 inches slashes and Rapid Strikes are just the most fun to play in the day because you actually have momentum and that's fun.
This is the most Hiei's cards I've ever seen play. In the
I love them.
And you're playing like all of them.
Yeah, exactly. There's also
Yukina.
it's Rapid Sleep Slash, protecting Yukinas in the deck because you have momentum, right? This guy always has momentum, dude. He's always got momentum.
This guy plays all these Hiei cards, doesn't even play 3 Eyes of Hiei. Fucked up, man.
Oh, true. Yeah, Devin and I in the very beginning, this is months and months ago. This is like right when
it has Inhuman Speed. This is literally all of Hiei's cards.
Right when I forced, I'm not running 3 Eyes of Hiei though. That's the only one I'm not running.
True.
But Devin and I both were like, let's play retro, and he pulled out a Kyo deck as I pulled out a Kyo deck, and we played a random mirror. It wasn't even on purpose. We just pulled it out.
You both just built Kyo decks.
Both just built Kyo. It was big funny. Big funny.
That is hilarious. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that the most represented was like Chaos here because people were like, man, you know what? I really want to show what Chaos can do.
Not just Chaos, but like almost a third of the decks were Azwell.
So, a fourth of the decks were Azwell.
Sorry. There are 8 decks to each other. 1/4 of the decks was fucking Azwell. And half of them were Chaos. So like people love Chaos, you know. Chaos. I think
Chaos is sick, but like no one. No, this is my deck. I just took Tim's deck and changed things. I would change things in this. Yeah. You're catching my drift now, Devin. Testing is important.
Testing is important. But yeah, these were cool decks, man. I had fun. The Sophitia deck was I think the most serious deck in this list.
Probably the best deck is that Sophitia deck.
Like if this was a top 8, that Sophitia won that PTC.
Yeah, the Sophitia won the PTC handily.
And the Kyo got disqualified for running old cards.
the Kyo got disqualified for playing in a standard tournament with his retro cards.
Right. Yeah. I think Ava also pretty.
Oh,
disgusting.
Ava got second or first. Actually,
Yeah.
I like the Sophitia Ava finals because that's where we're going. That's where we're headed.
Yeah, that's where we're headed.
That's where we're headed. And with the suggestions we had, that Sophitia could actually win that matchup.
I think so.
Yeah. Cool and focused would shit on Gorefest.
True. Unfortunately, it's the only zone that you can't grab a
Dude, it's fine. Servitude for survival, baby.
Oh, true. You just rezone it to no. Cool and focus brings it back. You make it low for Nightmare Tears.
And you Nightmare Tears it, baby.
There you go.
Oh yeah, Cool and Focus does bring it back to printed zone, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Zone
I would feel like the biggest idiot when I did that in a tournament, and my opponent was like, "Oh God."
If this was a top 8, then top 6 got that deck checked, and this was top 14.
There weren't even enough players in this deck for Azwell to not get diversified.
I think the only flat bad deck here is like the Midoriya deck and maybe the Bakugo deck. And I'm not.
Yeah, I don't like the Midoriya and the Bakugo deck.
It's just because those characters are under like they're doing
great.
like Shoryu Reppas are a great idea for Midoriya, right? And you know the Bakugo.
I'm gonna go and build it.
Ace Maneuver is cool for Bakugo. It's just those characters are like.
They're worse than the rest of the.
They're really tough to play. So it's not even like I'm not shitting on Mike Lowe and Tyler Zane. It's just that they pick two characters that are really tough to build something good for. Like I have spent the entirety of quarantine trying to make a good Bakugo, and I still went 3-3 at a standard event. It's just really hard. All right, I think we should close it out, my friend.
We're wrapping it up, boys. You got our end of the year Q&A. We're never doing one again. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, wait till next December 28th.
You have to wait till next December 28th to get another Q&A.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for being part of the boys this year, everybody. It has been a joy to bring you content creation from the finest of individuals.
True. This has been
it's December 29th, also apparently not the 28th.
Oh, is it? I don't know how to read.
Today I learned.
I learned.
Shout outs to Big Arms Jose. Definitely not Bison. Yeah. Fucking subscribe to our Patreon or whatever.
Yeah, if you want to be part of.
Oh yeah, if you want your deck review next month.
Reviews, and it doesn't have to be bad decks. It can be your pet deck, it can be your competitive deck, it can be whatever. Next time.
Prefer to not have 4 chaos decks. In fact.
True. Yeah, we want a big variety. But don't feel bad about posting. Even if it's the same deck, like our 2 Azwells. Like that's cool. That stuff's cool. That was really fun.
Yeah. Nice seeing the difference.
If you are having fun with these videos, we appreciate you. And if you would like to show some patronage, we would appreciate that too. If not, that's also very cool. We also have a merch store on Teespring. Where people can buy their Check 5s, Take Lives, and we take those shirts and mugs and face masks. But we're putting out videos middle of the week every week, and we hope you all have a fucking wonderful new year. God bless. It's not gonna be 2020 anymore.
We're going to do more eventually when we're allowed to, travel to events and have fun stuff. And
exactly. Yes.
Enjoy each other's companies and all that good shit. We'll be able to do more.
Absolutely.
But for now, content is exclusively videos. Yeah, it's going to be fun, though. We're looking forward to 2021, boys. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Like all the Juggalos or whatever.